Do you want to know what happens to Oathbreakers in the world of Oathmark? Well, they don't get to rest easy, that's for sure. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Northstar and Osprey's Skeleton Regiment for Oathmark. Okay, so I'm going to be taking a look at the Skeleton Infantry box for Oathmark. This is from Northstar Military Figures and Osprey. And if we look at the back, you might be able to see there a bit of text. The land of the marches are littered with the bones of the dead. This box set allows you to build 30 skeleton infantry with hand weapons, spears, bows, and also parts to make officers and standard within their ranks. So that all sounds fantastic. Inside the box you get 25mm square. So these are the standard bases for Oathmark. And then you also get 6 of these sprues. So, starting at the top, we have our skeleton infantry. So, torsos, legs, bodies, all together, which is really nice, all on a puddle basin. They all have some form of adornments on them. We have 3 with these, 4 with these breastplate style circles. We've got a greave on this gentleman here in the middle. All of them have rags and straps hanging off them. We also have quivers, and these rags and straps are quite nice because when you're hanging the quivers off the skeletons, it looks like they're actually attached to the skeletons and not just floating alongside them. Get a set of 5 shields, so various amounts of embellishment on them, from the poorest to the richest. I'm guessing dots equate to richness. 3 arms holding the shield at an angle to holding it down by the side. You get enough bows, arrows, hand weapons to do everybody. So if you want to make these 30 all archers, you can do this. We have 2 knocking, 2 reloading, and 1 having unleashed his arrow already. And a nice touch here is, you can see these bows are quite straight. We have these 2 bows that are very bent back, which are the ones that you would use for the 2 gentlemen arrows ready. Then towards the bottom we have our heads. So there are 5 skeleton heads without helmets on and 5 with. So you can do either armoured elite infantry, or if you don't want your bowmen to have helmets on, you can go with completely bareheaded. Only 1 with a cackling grin. We have our spears, and then additional spears towards the bottom with the other hand weapons. Here you can see, if I flip it round, that impressive looking helmet for our champion. We also have this longer spear for the standard, and then we have our hand weapons, which are majority in the right hand, but you can make a couple either dual wielding or to have a offhand weapon if they've also got the standard. No musician, although with a couple of the empty shield hands you could always put together a set of drumsticks, which I think is perfectly valid for skeletons. So I've made 2 spearmen. As you can see, this gentleman at the ready. Build is fairly easy. They have essentially ball socket joints at the shoulders, so you've got posability there on the arm, although the top of the shoulder blade, the scapula, comes across, so you can't rotate all the way up. So there's a bit of physiology in there. We have this one, shambling spear and shield at the ready. I've also given him one of those majestic bronze helmets. They do have a very Celtic Bronze Age feel with the helmets, and a little bit as well with the shields. They have those, I'm going to say, over-the-top looks to them. I also did a couple of bowmen. So here we can see one getting ready to load his bow. And the other is getting ready to fire. I put a little bowstring on because I wanted to see if I could put a little bowstring on. That's just using the sprue. Again, nice model. Good level of detail and a moderate amount of build, which is what you want with skeletons. You don't want to be having to put every individual limb on. It will slow you down somewhat. Finally, we have my frenzied dual-wielding champion that I decided to make. Mold lines are not massive, but they are noticeable. You may want to give these a bit of a clean up before painting. But flashing was more or less non-existent. There's some on the chin of this and the other screaming skeleton, but otherwise build is good, quality is very good, and I think a lot of people will be fielding some undead hordes in the near future, whether it's for Frostgrave or Oathmark is entirely up to you. Alright then, so 30 of the finest easy to build skeletons. I do love the fact that they've gone with this very Bronze Age Celt look with the arms and armour on them. It's a very distinctive look, and we've been seeing an awful lot of classical Greek type skeletons kicking around, so many Jason and the Argonaut influences. It's nice to see that somebody's taking a slightly different spin on things. Also, the fact that they are skeletons and they don't wear the same arms and armour that we see with other Oathmark boxes is good as well, because it just gives that idea that they are a much more ancient, roused race of diabolical things. So, will you be getting involved with the skeletons for Oathmark, or will you be picking these up for something else? Let me know below. I'm going to move on. Bye-bye.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.